let's talk about this young woman, 22-year-old Gabby Petito. There are the pictures she posted on social media. So excited to be taking this cross-country summer road trip with her boyfriend slash fiance, Brian Laundrie. And then Brian came home without her. And now we are getting worst case scenario news. The FBI speaking out about what they found. Take a listen.
As you are aware, FBI personnel, in coordination with our partners at National Park Service, the Forest Service, Teton County Sheriff's Office, and Jackson Police Department, have been conducting an investigative activity in the vicinity of the Spread Creek dispersed camping area. Earlier today, human remains were discovered, consistent with the description of Gabby Petito. Full forensic identification has not been completed to confirm 100% that we found Gabby, but her family has been notified of this discovery. The cause of death has not been determined at this time.
Incredibly sad for the family. And this is a family that they were holding out hope. They were very in front of the cameras, keeping the search alive for Gabby. But this is an absolute crushing blow to the family. Now, our great affiliate WFTS and reporter Wendy Lane has more information for us tonight, and this involves the next phase of what's happening now, which is the investigation. We've got a body, there'll be an autopsy, they'll try to figure out cause and manner of death. In the meantime, they're going through the Laundrie household. Let's take a look again. Wendy Lane from WFTS.
Right before 10 a.m. this morning, FBI agents swarmed Brian Laundrie's home. This less than 24 hours after the remains of Gabby Petito were found in Wyoming. Now, earlier we saw more than a dozen agents rush into the Laundrie home. They took all kinds of equipment with them, and Brian Laundrie's parents were escorted out of the home and put into a dark-colored van. Right now, the whereabouts of Brian is still unknown. Now, on Friday, his parents reported him missing to police. They told police the last time they saw Brian was when he left to go hiking in the Carlton Reserve last Tuesday, and they haven't seen him since. Now, over the weekend, law enforcement searched the 25,000 acres, and they have since called off the search, saying that they have exhausted all avenues of searching that area. Now, right now, FBI agents are still searching inside the home. It's unclear if Brian has been named a suspect in Gabby's death, and the whereabouts of Brian are still unknown, but we will continue to bring you the very latest as it happens. In Northport, I'm Wendy Lane reporting.
Big thanks to WFTS, doing great work down there. The Tampa FBI tweeting out some information today. I want to read that for you so you get an idea of where they are. You saw all the agents swarming the household. The FBI saying they are executing a court-authorized search warrant today at the Laundrie residence in Northport, Florida, relevant to Gabby Petito investigation. No further details can be provided since this is an active and ongoing investigation. So what exactly does it take to get a court-authorized search warrant? What type of information? How much information? And what is it going to take to get to the next level where we're talking about holding someone responsible? And who could be in the crosshairs of criminal charges here? Is it Brian Laundrie? Could the parents as well? Let's try to answer all these questions. Let's bring in our think tank tonight. Great legal minds joining us tonight in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Criminal defense attorney, civil rights attorney, Kesia Early. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, family law attorney Jennifer Brandt. And in Atlanta, Georgia, criminal defense attorney Michael Bixson. Welcome to you all. Let's start with the search warrant. Kesia Early, you're down in Florida. You know what it takes. How much information do investigators, the FBI, have to have in order to get that search warrant and go into that house, get the parents out of the house, and start going through everything?
Well, we know that they have, it has to be specific. In this case, we know that Brian, this is his residence, and that he was closely connected to Gabby. This was his fiance, and he returned without her. So this warrant that was issued or submitted to the court so that the judge can execute it was specific. They're looking for forensic evidence, whether it's his computer or clothing or items within his bedroom that could possibly tie him to Gabby or any association to his fiance.
Jennifer Brandt, not necessarily shocking that all this is happening, but they were able to find Gabby's remains. Tragic ending for that family. But now for this other family, they've got the feds inside their home, in the vehicles, looking for everything. What do you think they're looking for?
I agree with Cassia. I think they're looking for forensic evidence. They're looking at his computer. Maybe they want to try to get hold of his phone. There were some text messages that Gabby's mother had received that she thought were a little odd. So did he send them? Did Gabby send them? They're looking for any evidence that would tie him to Gabby's disappearance. And I believe at one point in time, Gabby lived in the home with him. So maybe there's something there from her that they're looking for. It's just he came back without her. He's the person that probably last saw her. So and now we found possibly her remains, likely her remains. So I think the police are looking for anything that would lead them to a reason for why she's possibly dead.
Now, Michael Bixson, the family has an attorney, right? But the family consists of mom, dad, and Brian. At this point, these parents, he came home September 1st by himself. September 1st, they knew Gabby was nowhere to be found. The parents obviously did nothing other than perhaps help their son get a lawyer and have said nothing, have done nothing. Is there any legal issue that they could be running into here as the parents of the young man who was with Gabby and may very well at some point be looked at as a suspect in this case? Right now, just a person of interest.
Absolutely. I mean, if there's any indication that they know where he is, that they're hiding him, concealing him, that they're, withholding something from this investigation, there's a number of charges, anything from obstruction to aiding and abetting that they could be actually getting charged with. So, when a family hires an attorney, and obviously, there could be some conflicts there, and depending in terms of who this attorney is going to be representing, is it the whole family? Is it one individual? Is it just for Brian? We don't know. But, obviously when a person of interest, and I think they're definitely considering him very interesting at this point, and possibly a suspect is out on the run, possibly, I think that the attorney should at least be focusing on that person, which could make it a little bit more complicated when there's a possibility of the family being charged with something as well.
Casey, what can be done? Can they compel these parents to speak and say everything they know? Let's just say, hypothetically, okay? Hypothetically, it's like a law school exam question. Hypothetically, a young man returns from a trip, right? He goes out with his girlfriend/fiance, comes back by himself, and the parents say, well, where's your girlfriend? And then he tells them everything, and they know everything. Can they be compelled now to divulge everything they know? Hypothetically.
Well, hypothetically, if they're considered suspects in this investigation, of course they can assert their constitutional right to remain silent. However, in this case, we're hoping that they're just witnesses willing to cooperate with the police investigation. Perhaps when their son arrived home, he could have made some incriminating statements, and they will assist the officers in their investigation. However, I doubt that they will do that, considering the first step that they took was to hire a lawyer for Brian. And on top of that, the lawyer issued a statement stating that there's not going to be any further comments at this juncture. And that juncture, I don't know where that is. So in this case, I doubt very seriously that the parents will either participate to protect the interests of their son.
But Vinny, I just want to jump in here because, I mean, how can you blame the parents for hiring a lawyer for their son? I mean, I think anybody who's
I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming them, Jennifer, but they weren't in Wyoming, right? So they weren't with Gabby. What if they know things? Are they witnesses?
but
Can we
Vinny,
compel these
but-
witnesses to give information?
But Vinny, what if they don't know anything? It doesn't. Because
Why did they hire a
hired
lawyer if they didn't know anything?
Because their son came back without the girlfriend,
And they said,
certainly
don't tell me anything. Shh,
No,
don't tell me
no,
anything.
but
We're
here's
just
the
going to get
thing.
you a lawyer.
I think any parent would probably do the same thing. I mean, their son is definitely under suspicion here. How could he not be? He
On
was the person
September
last
1st?
involved.
What's
where's
that
the
conversation
girlfriend?
like on September 1st? She lived in the house. I mean, Michael
That's
Dixon.
right. And he comes back without her, right, Vinny? So I mean, and they had an altercation, and we know that there was a fight, and there's some kind of suspicious circumstances. Any parent would get a lawyer involved and say, hey, whatever's going on here, if the police are going to be questioning my son, if anybody's going to be asking him, I want protection for him.
Hey,
I
before
don't
you
think
get
can
to
blame
that
the parents.
point, I mean, could have dropped her off in New York. She could have. She could have got. No, what I'm saying is, when he walks through the door as a parent, my first thing isn't going to be, no, Gabby, shh, don't say anything. 1-800-THE-LAW. No, you're going to ask, where's Gabby?
You don't know if
If
it
you're
happened that
concerned-
quickly.
Yeah, and look, Vinny, if you're concerned about the police knocking on your door or wanting to talk to him, as innocent as he might be, and again, it's not whether or not he's innocent, whether or not he's guilty, but if you think the police are going to actually come and investigate him and talk to him, you want to get a lawyer to be that
Agreed.
shield and
Agreed.
act as that barrier between them to make sure that he's protected. Because especially if he is innocent, and especially if he didn't do anything wrong,
But what
you
if
want to
he
make
said,
sure that
what
he is
if
protected.
he said something hypothetically to his parents, and his parents have information? There's no privilege there. They've got to give it up, right?
I mean,
There's
yeah,
no
it could be
privilege,
obstruction,
however, but it's not likely. I mean, we know in domestic violence situations, they typically look at the person that's closely connected, whether it's the husband or the
Hey,
fiance.
Casey Anthony's
So-
trial, I hate to bring it up, but George and Cindy were on and off that witness stand like 15 times during the trial. These two are witnesses right now, aren't they?
There
Well,
Yes,
I don't know.
but-
What did they
again, though-
witness, though? What did they witness? I mean, they have their son coming back. Maybe he didn't say anything. Maybe he did. But doubtful that he divulged everything that happened. He's gone now. The question is, where is he, and why? What do they know about that? That might be the question that I would be asking. But whether he confessed things to them, I would highly doubt it. But I think they got the lawyer because the police were going to be questioning him, and that would be my assumption.
All right, Michael Bixon, if we get a autopsy results, and the autopsy is supposed to be tomorrow, and those results come back, and it comes back as homicide, death at the hands of another, is that going to be enough for charges in this case, or are they going to need more?
Well, it's a question of charges against who, right? I mean, if she was murdered, then
the
the
guy
question is
that
who
she
did
was
it?
in the van with.
Yeah, well, no. Because now you're jumping to conclusions. Just because he was in a van with her at a certain point doesn't necessarily mean
He
that he did it.
drove
For instance,
her van home.
Vinny, if someone hijacks him on the side of the road and kills her, he freaks out and drives home. There's 1,000 different possibilities. But the point of it is, we don't know.
didn't
Now, if there's some
tell
evidence
anybody.
that
He
what?
didn't tell anybody. He got home on September 1st. Her parents,
there's 1,000 reasons
reported her
whether-
missing on September 11th.
Okay, Vinny, all right, I'll throw out a possible scenario. What if they were hijacked? What if somebody else did this? What if he was afraid that the fingers are going to get pointed at him like they're being pointed now? And again, we don't know. We're jumping to conclusions. If there is some physical evidence that actually ties him to the murder, then sure, I get it. He goes from being a person of interest to an actual suspect. But again, without knowing what the autopsy results are and without any
Well,
actual link
I'm
of
saying
that,
hypothetically, homicide.
just that she was murdered?
Homicide, death
no.
at the hands of another. That's not going to be
No.
enough. We're going to need more than that. How about the
think so, yeah.
circumstances? How about the circumstances surrounding this, that there's two people in a van? Two people in the van, one person comes home.
Well, again, there's two people in a van, one person comes home, but we don't know what led for that to happen. If there is some physical evidence that links him to the murder, then yes,
There was a
I absolutely would
homicide in
imagine.
between. Okay, Casey, let me see if I can get you there. Two people in a van drive across the country. One of them is the victim of a homicide. One person drives back across the country. Is
Vinny,
that
I'm
enough?
already there.
Is that
I'm
enough for
already there.
charges? I'm not saying for conviction beyond a reasonable doubt, Michael Bixon. That's a whole different story. I'm talking about charges.
It's more than enough. It's more than enough for charges, especially again in this case. And then you throw on top that there was a domestic violence incident a few days prior, and he's gone now. That's evidence of guilt. His flight. Where are you, Mr. Laundrie? Why did you leave? Even if you are a suspect, you have the right to remain silent. You did not cooperate in the missing persons case. And now that we found Gabby, you're gone. You're missing. So just her body alone, the fact that he was with her, the fact that he had the car and returned alone, that's sufficient for charges. May not be sufficient for conviction, but definitely for an arrest.
All right. We'll continue covering this. We've got more coming up in the next hour on this case.